Alright, welcome back to Sonic Heroes, where we're going to play maybe my second favorite level in the game.
Sonic, you sure this is the right way?
I saw Shadow and Eggman head this way. This has gotta be the right way.
But it's so spooky here.
Maybe that's the ghost of Shadow we saw earlier.
Woo! Stop it, Knuckles.
So yeah, these levels are great. Even as a kid, I really loved these levels, but these were very intimidating when I was a kid because they're very long levels, and they contain a lot of the most, difficult to fight enemies in the game.
The castle slipped upside down.
And then at the end, you have another one of those boss rushes that was very difficult for me as a child, especially in the Team Dark
This
playthrough.
case can be unlocked by a switch. Shit, we're up! Shit, we're up!
So something I haven't really talked about yet, but I guess I'll mention now, is that Knuckles has a ground attack.
We're back to normal now.
You'll see that when you're on the ground and you press the B button with Knuckles, he uses Sonic and Tails basically like boxing gloves
Got it. Level up!
and attacks enemies with that, but he kind of slides all over the place. Even if you're not pressing a direction on the control stick, he will move all over the place, and it's fine usually, but in a lot of places, specifically the boss rushes, and I clipped through the ground. But yeah, in a lot of places, especially the boss rushes, he will just kind of fly all over the place and will get himself killed.
Here we go.
So 9 times out of 10, when you see me play as Knuckles in this game, you're going to see me use the air attack,
There's that switch again.
which is you jump up in the air and you throw Sonic and Tails at the enemies instead of the ground attack, because it's a lot more safe, I guess. I don't feel as if I'm going to fly off, because he stays in one place, which is, what I would much prefer. But yeah, I've always been a bit of a horror guy. Even when I was a kid, I liked scary things, even though they actually scared me when I was a kid. But I loved the aesthetic and the songs and everything and the enemies of this particular level. I just always really liked it. Take this!
Leave this to me.
And yeah, I'm not the only person who's probably noticed this, but it does sound like when Knuckles uses the ground attack, it sounds like he says, "Shit! Rock! Shit!"
Let's go.
Let's go down there.
There's a lot of things, and it's because of the, weird translations that these games get. It's the same reason why,
Look, the door's open.
Eggman said Yosh in Sonic Adventure 2. You just get, weird things.
Leave it to me.
Like, when you hear Tails attack, he just goes like, "Ninime!" And it's just nonsense, just gibberish.
Got it.
Leave it to me. Leave it to
Not
me.
bad.
This is still just, it's such a bizarre looking glitch. It makes me laugh.
Here we go. Take this.
Yeah, there are a lot of audio clips that are burned into my brain. I will always remember Sonic saying, "Yippee go!" Because it sounds like he says "Yippee go." The one thing that maybe I've carried with me through my entire life since playing this game is something that I quote very often from this game, is whenever I need to go do something, or if I'm literally just saying the phrase, "Here we go," I will always think of how Vector says that from this game, and I will most often say it like that. Because when you switch to him in the formation, he just goes, "Here we go!" And I always think of that. I don't know why. So if I'm just by myself and I'm thinking of, going and doing something, I'll always get up and I'll say, "Here we go!"
Leave it to me.
So that is something that has stayed with me
Let's go.
for quite some time. However long it's been since this game came out. Almost 20 years now. Jesus Christ. That's insane. Yeah, next year or the year after, it'll be 20 years since Sonic Heroes came out. That does not feel right. You're probably gonna see me use the Team Blast glitch quite a lot in these levels. Mostly just because they do put a lot more annoying enemies in these stages, so...
Leave it to me.
Also, we're getting towards the end of the game, so I'm going to be using that a lot more frequently. I did get it wrong. I thought that the Team Sonic Team Blast would occasionally give you, like, a random level up. I don't think that that's actually true. I looked it up, and I think it gives you, like, an extra move you can do, which I don't know if I've ever known about, so I don't know what that is. Also, every other story that comes through this area, the switch is right there, so I was very confused as to what I was supposed to be doing right now. And just assumed it had to be up there somewhere. Because usually if you don't see a switch, it's probably above the door, which means Tails has to get it.
There they are.
Eggman.
Leave them to me, Sonic.
Yeah, any large amount of enemies, just like, this game is a Team Blast. What you can do? What you can do about it? I will say that I do think that these levels maybe are a little too long for their own good. The sweet spot for these levels, I think, is like 6 minutes. Anything longer than that, and I start to get a little annoyed playing the game. And that certainly doesn't help when you're playing as Team Dark or Team Chaotix, because that's when it starts getting real long. And then you can hear Tails just goes like diddly,
Okay.
fiddly. I don't know what he's saying. I can't even replicate it. But I do really genuinely love these levels. Maybe not so much, like, I don't even necessarily think they're fun to play. I just like the visuals and the music that plays in these levels, so they're good levels, but maybe not for, like, playing them. If that makes any sense. They're certainly better than, like, Rail Canyon and Bingo Highway and all those.
Ah! We're turning upside down again.
We're back to normal now.
I get what they were going for with Tails' voice. Like, I get that they wanted him to sound like a child, but they didn't have to, like, actually hire a child.
Ready anytime.
They did that in the Sonic Adventure games, where they hired, like, young kids to voice Tails, but it was much better in those games. Like, his Adventure 1 and 2 voices
Got some serious problems.
sounded better, and I feel like they were better actors, too. Like, they're not perfect, but they were certainly better than this. Again, sorry to this kid, but...
He just sounds like his nose is stuffed.
like the whole time. It's quite bad stuff. Also, I have always loved that the Eggman statue, once you flip the gravity, turns into a Metal Sonic statue. I think that's very cool. But what could that mean? And it seemed like we saw something that looked like Metal Sonic before in the story. I don't remember if they showed anything like that in the trailers leading up to this game, if they showed anything Metal Sonic related. But as a kid, I might not have noticed it in a trailer or a screenshot or anything like that. Because I remember as soon as you get that first cutscene with the, all life form data successfully copied, or whatever he says, I was like, oh my god, Metal Sonic's in this game. It's like the first game since Sonic CD to really actually have him in there.
Yes.
And as a kid, I loved the Sonic OVA, and I loved Metal Sonic in that, and I was so excited to see Metal Sonic again. But he has a weird design in this game, and he doesn't really come in until the literal last second of the game. So it's still a little disappointing. I was disappointed even as a kid. I just wish that this game had a better story, a more involved story, but I understand, again, as I've said, I understand why they didn't want to do a big involved story, but it does feel a little bit lazy.
What a castle.
What a mansion.
Feels like Halloween with all these ghosts. Not bad.
I don't know, this song always reminded me of the Futurama opening. It has the sound, it's probably a stock sound effect, honestly, that you could buy for like, you know, music purposes, it's probably the exact same like dings from the Futurama opening.
Hey, you surprised me. Level up.
It's a good song, what do you want me to say? And see, that's the problem with you can't switch a character until you're on the ground. Is that I thought I was going to be able to switch to Knuckles to do the air attack, but nope, Sonic just uses Tornado anyway.
Leave them to me, Sonic.
Leave it to me.
Watch out!
I think one new move that Sonic has in this game is the, I think it's called the triangle jump.
Got it.
I like it, honestly. I think it looks cool. It feels like something cool that Sonic would do. And it controls fine. It's a little scary sometimes over pits. I think it works better in Shadow, which is weird to compliment that game, but
Something may happen if this.
I think it's a nice new move. I kind of would have liked to have seen it come back in some other, you know, some other game.
Level up.
Here we go!
Not try going down there.
Oh, song's so good. Yeah, this is just like those wizard egg pawn enemies I think are unnecessary. They just have too much health. They can flip over and they turn into like mages and they can heal all the other enemies in the area. They're just annoying. It's when the fact that you have a health bar for the enemies gets kind of silly.
A button to jump.
And I believe this is the last of the little bobsled sections in the game. Again, I said before, they're so infrequent that they just feel like you don't even need to talk about them. Take this. Take this. Take this. So this level, I think, was probably the least favorite level that I played throughout any of the campaigns as the Chaotix, because I think they put like 65 torches throughout the level that you have to put out as Espio before you can beat the level. And it's so long, it's so tedious. I in no way enjoyed myself.
Let's go.
And the level itself is just so long as it is that playing through it like that is just, it's so not fun. It's not interesting, it's just bad. And we hate to see it, folks. Shit, yeah. But again, the Team Sonic and Team Dark playthroughs are much better. Team Rose has a condensed version of the level, which means you're not really experiencing the whole thing. And you're getting more from Team Sonic and Team Dark. I would really only recommend, as I've said thousands of times already in this playthrough, only playing through those stories.
Wonder what it does.
It's alive.
I think the end of this game is maybe one of my favorites. Like, I just like the 1-2 punch of these levels and then the last levels, which are really quite fun. Maybe some of my favorite levels in a 3D Sonic game. You know, there's that middle part that I don't really enjoy too much, but the game well, you know, makes up for it in the last stages of the game. And I really can't state enough how nostalgic this game is for me, even though I really don't quite like it. Like, playing this game again, it was like a rush of nostalgia. Editing these videos and talking about them is like reminding me of exactly when I first played this game and how much I truly did love this as a kid. Despite the fact that even then I knew that there was something not quite right with this game.
Leave it to me.
And that was when I was a kid and didn't understand, like, games could be bad. I would always just blame it on myself. Not even that I thought it was bad as a kid, I just knew that there was something different about this game that I didn't quite like. That was really lucky. I don't know how, to this day, I did that. Because it looked like I timed that perfectly. But just something, like, in me was like, I should just jump right now. It was like the scene in The Matrix where Neo sees the code for the first time and everything's just Matrix code and he blocks every single one of Agent Smith's attacks. That was me in that moment. Well, rest in peace, Sonic. We knew him so well. Rest in peace, Knuckles. We didn't know him as well. This part is probably the scariest. Talking about the triangle jump, this is probably the scariest triangle jump that you have to do in the entire game. It makes me nervous every single time I go through this. So you gotta flip the world upside down, and then you gotta get to grind rails on the other side, and it always makes me feel like I'm going to just fall down into the pit. You have to basically time it right and jump off the wall with the B button. Otherwise, you are going to die. I love that this song is moody, it's atmospheric, but it's also kind of funky. You know, I love a good funky Sonic song. Yippee go, yippee go. Why are you saying that? This is the, I like to call this the YouTube compression room, because I'm sure this is going to look like absolute dog turds on YouTube. I think the rest of this level is probably going to look very bad on YouTube. YouTube's compression is already kind of screwing with these videos because they look really crisp and clean for me, but in the uploads I'm noticing that they are, you know, a little bit less so. But this is going to be very bad. All these effects in the background are going to make this look very bad. I have the exact same advice for the homing attack in this game that I do with Sonic 06, which is that instead of just mashing the A button to go across a gap, homing attack, pause a little bit, wait for his animation to play out, then homing attack again. Because you can go flying off in a direction that you do not want to go in if you just keep mashing the homing attack button, so I would recommend against that. In this game, I guess Sonic Adventure 2 to an extent, but mostly this game and 06. I don't remember, I think he's got a weird arc in Shadow too, but I've barely played that game. I've only done like 2 playthroughs of that game. I've never done the full story, play through the game 10 times to get the last story. Which is why I said in the beginning, someone's gonna have to talk me out of doing that, because I'm getting the itch. I'm like, I've revisited a bunch of these Sonic games that I've had mixed to negative feelings about. You know, Sonic 06 I hated, but now I'm like, you know what, this is a great bad game. Sonic Adventure 2, which I was mixed on, but now I'm like, nope, this game still rules. And Sonic Heroes, where I'm like, I liked it as a kid, but have not liked it recently. And now I'm like, yeah, it's whatever, it's mediocre. And someone's gonna have to talk me out of playing that one. Out of playing Shadow the Hedgehog. I don't want to do it, but I want to at the same time.
Not bad.
Trying to stop us now? Ha, what a joke!
What did you say? Now I'm really mad. Get them.
So this is Robot Storm. This is 1,000 times worse than Robot Carnival. Goes on way too long. The platform that you're in is way smaller, I feel like, than the Robot Carnival one. So it's much easier for Sonic and company to just fly off the edge. So I think we're going to be using the Team Blast glitch a lot more frequently during this boss battle than the other ones we've done so far. Take this. Yeah. Again, during these bosses, Knuckles and Tails are your friend. Sonic can be useful, and I would much prefer to play as him, but Tails and Knuckles are your best friends here. Like, look at that. Did you see how quickly Tails decimated that entire wave? I mean, that's just crazy. Tails has never been this much of a destructive force in any of the other games since.
Then use the item inside.
Yeah, just Team Blast these guys. I don't feel like dealing with them. And this is the level where if you're playing this boss through as the Chaotix, you have to do like extra steps to defeat some of the enemies, which I think is annoying. I don't wish to do it.
Take this, take this.
Take this, take this.
Already. Take this, take this.
They tell you in the game that Sonic needs to kind of clear away the Egg Pawn shields. I'm gonna say like 50% of the time you can just one-shot kill them with Knuckles, and the other times, like, yeah, you do actually have to remove their shields. I don't know what the deal with that is, and as I've said before, when Sonic is all the way powered up, homing attacking one of those guys gets rid of their shields instantly, so Sonic all powered up is very good too. This probably would have been a good time to do a Team Blast, because they're just all healing themselves. Very annoying enemies. They can also steal all of your rings, which I believe happened to me in one of the recordings. I think this is my second attempt at Robot Carnival. I've had many times there where I don't make it to that platform. It's like maybe a 30% chance you're not going to make it to that platform, so I always hold up, just in case. That's another one of those things where this game just feels unfair sometimes.
Too cool.
Too cool. Knuckles sounds weird. Although I've always preferred this tone of voice to Knuckles than, like, he gets very gruff later on. The stupider he got, the more gruff his voice got. Like, Knuckles in this one just sounds like a guy doing like this. Whereas, like, Dan Green and Travis Willingham would, whoa, Jesus, did you see Tails just decimate that guy? They would voice him a lot more gruff, which I don't really like. Like, I even liked his voice in the OVA, where he just kind of sounds like me. He has, like, a very high, not high-pitched, but higher than usual for Knuckles' voice. You know, he kind of sounded like this, Sonic! Once again, Tails is your friend. He can hit things like way farther off in the distance. Like these monkeys in their little carts. Which I think is what Tails is accidentally like targeting. Knuckles can hit them too, I think, but it's just better to use Tails because his attacks are much faster. They can lock on better, and as I've said, Tails is like a god of destruction in this game. He's like Cream in the Sonic Advance games, where she just uses cheese as a weapon and could kill things within like 2 hits. I think if they made the platforms bigger here, I would enjoy the robot, the Mook rushes, but these always make me so nervous.
Too cool.
Here we go.
Yippee go. I don't know if you have to time that either. Like, I don't know if you can get hit out of the air by those axes. I feel like it could happen. I'm gonna do an impression of the Team Dark, Team Blast. Here we go. That was it. I hope that my microphone picked that up.
Those were the easy ones.
Well, that is it for this one. In the next video, we're going to start the final level of the game. So see you then.
Phew! I need a break from those robots.